Good morning, everyone, and welcome to IGTV. We've got with us this morning William H. Murray, and Bill is going to be talking about the cost of the attack, if I have that correct. Right, Bill?
Right.
Okay, take it away.
I can't remember now exactly how it came about, but I found myself sharing a stage at the Naval Postgraduate School with Fred Cohen. The audience was made up of members of the NPS family, family members of students, faculty, and administrators. I was suggesting to them simple things that they could do to improve the security of their home computers. No matter what I said, Fred told them why it would not work. Of course, all of his attacks were hypothetical, and they had zero cost. Since free attacks trump even good security, Fred wiped the stage with me. Many security experts believe or behave as though all vulnerabilities are equal and that all attacks are free. Indeed, vulnerability pimps are defined by this belief. After all, they don't have to pay the graduate students who do the work or even pay for their computers. This is complicated by the fact that script kiddies who cannot sell their labor think that it has no value. Like many of the abstractions that we use in security, the cost of attack cannot be calculated with any precision. However, it can be modeled in a useful way, in a way that enables us to compare it to the value of success so as to enable us to make security decisions. Security decisions in a way that enables us to understand how to reduce the probability of a successful attack. Start with work. First, some person or some computer will have to do work that can be measured in man-hours or computer cycles. Someone must do analysis, identify both a class and instance of a vulnerability, design an attack, identify targets, or write and test programs. While the cost of skilled labor rises over time, this may be offset by the falling cost of computer time. The upper bound on the work required for the attack is that required for a brute force attack. Second, the attacker must have access to the target. At a minimum, she must be able to send a message to the target system. In the early days of computers, when few were connected to public networks, most of those who could connect or send a message were insiders. They were defined as insiders by this privilege. Most of these were authorized users, people who were intended to use the system or the application, and whose behavior could be relied upon. In the modern world, in which most systems or applications are attached to public networks, almost anyone can send a message to any address, not to say any system or application. Said another way, most of those who can send a message to a system are not authorized users, and their behavior cannot be relied upon. Third, the attacker must be relatively indifferent to detection. This indifference is scarce and can be modeled as a cost. Note that some potential attackers are more indifferent than others. The less likely that an attacker believes that he is to be identified and penalized, the lower his cost of attack. Fourth, the attack may require significant special knowledge. It's interesting that those who have most special knowledge tend to discount its value. For example, the infamous graduate student who has spent time and treasure obtaining knowledge assumes that it is plentiful and cheap, that if he knows something, everyone knows it. However, in fact, the more knowledge that is required for the success of an attack, the fewer people there will be that can succeed at it. Finally, there is time to detection and to corrective action. The greater the time required for an attack to succeed, the greater the potential that it will be detected and thwarted in progress. Many so-called experts talk in terms of attacks that are never discovered. The time to the discovery of an attack is a function of its success. That is, the pain to the victim and the benefit to the attacker. Now, I use the acronym WASTE, W-A-I-S-T, to teach and remember the variables in this model. Notice that any of these factors can be purchased for dollars. That is to say, can be priced in dollars and compared to one another. Said another way, they are fungible. An excess of any one may reduce the amount required for the others. For example, if one has knowledge of a password or a key, one might avoid the work that would otherwise be required to discover it. Notice also that at least work and special knowledge can be encapsulated in a computer program, made available to those who don't enjoy the knowledge and who are not motivated to do the work. One could use this model to understand how to increase security, that is, how to reduce the probability of an attack by increasing its cost. We can increase the work required, lengthen passwords or keys. We can limit access. We can increase the penalty for discovery, increase the knowledge required, discover attacks in progress. Said another way, we can use the model to compare the cost of attack to the value of its success. Note that we define a hardened target as one where the cost of attack is greater than the value of success. While one cannot guarantee that even a hardened target cannot be successfully attacked, we can be sure that no one will do it over and over again for the money. As with all the abstractions that we use in security, for example, risk, we are called security professionals and paid the big bucks because we understand and can use abstractions like cost of attack. See you next week.
Thanks, Bill. I certainly do appreciate it, and I hope everybody appreciates you coming on each week and the level of detail that you pour into all this. I absolutely love your editorials. Keep up the great work.
Thank you.
All right. Bye now.